26-year-old Jacques Mazel, who was fishing by the stream, noticed a beautiful girl on the shore and approached her. This land and everything on it belongs to Jacques' wealthy father. However, Patricia believes that if these people do not work on this land, it does not belong to them. Charmed by the girl's wit, Jacques picked her up and carried her across the stream. Patricia smiled and sincerely thanked him. Patricia brought lunch to her widowed father Pascal Amoretti and his worker Felipe Rambert. The men are well diggers, earning a living from it. By the way, today is Patricia's 18th birthday. Pascal, who is always busy, completely forgot about it, but the girl wasn't upset, knowing that her father does everything for the family. The men were having lunch while Patricia went to class. In fact, Pascal didn't forget about Patricia's birthday and the day before instructed his eldest daughter Amanda to buy a branded hat from the boutique. In the evening they will surprise Patricia. After the wife passed away, Pascal alone takes care of his 6 daughters. Patricia has replaced the mother for her younger sisters. Pascal believes that Patricia was sent to him by God. Felipe said that Patricia should be getting married soon. Pascal knows this but prefers not to think about it. On the way back, seeing Jacques near the stream again, Patricia let her hair down to attract him. Jacques gladly carried the girl across the stream. Mutual sympathy immediately arose between them, but Patricia pretended to be proud and hurried away. However, Jacques was not about to give up just like that. He really liked Patricia, even though she is not from a wealthy family. Jacques' father, on the other hand, is a shopkeeper and wealthy by local standards. Seeing Jacques' new motorcycle, Patricia couldn't contain her admiration. When he offered her a ride, she readily agreed. Feeling the wind and speed, she was full of freedom. After giving Patricia a ride, Jacques invited her on a date to the cinema, but she couldn't agree. Her father would not approve. Jacques' parents are not simple people. His mother tends to have nervous breakdowns. She is especially upset by the only son's passion for aviation. André is more lenient about it, but still very worried. Felipe hinted that he wouldn't mind marrying Patricia. Pascal didn't want to offend his friend but still refused him the engagement. Patricia is special and deserves a better husband. However, when Felipe mentioned that he has savings and a car, it made Pascal reconsider. Perhaps Felipe isn't such a bad candidate, but first they must find out if Patricia feels any affection towards him. At home, Patricia fed the younger sisters. The father arrived with Felipe, who invited her to a big aviation parade tomorrow. The girl had to decline because she had laundry planned for tomorrow. Out of politeness, Patricia invited Felipe to stay for dinner. Pascal hopes that his daughter will still give this worthy man a chance. In honor of her birthday, the family presented Patricia with a gift, a beautiful hat. The girl was thrilled and sincerely thanked her relatives. Felipe invited Patricia again to tomorrow's parade. Hearing that Jacques Mazel would be participating, the girl agreed. Amanda promised to take care of all the housework tomorrow. Felipe relentlessly complimented Patricia. A celebratory dinner was arranged, but Patricia herself stayed aside and looked pensive. Amanda confessed to her sister that she has long loved Felipe. Amanda also knows that the sister is not interested in Felipe, so she hopes that if Patricia rejects him, Felipe will pay attention to her. The next morning, as agreed, Patricia and Felipe set off for the parade in his car. The girl wore the new hat. Spectators watched in admiration as pilots performed intricate maneuvers in the air. Next to Felipe, Patricia felt uncomfortable. Later, after all the planes had landed, Felipe approached Jacques to say hello and introduced Patricia to him. Of course, Jacques recognized her immediately. However, Patricia and Jacques pretended not to know each other. When Felipe stepped away, they had a chance to talk alone. Jacques suggested to the girl that they run away together and lie to Felipe that she is going to visit her aunt. The girl would like that very much, although it is inappropriate. To prevent Felipe from telling her father anything, Patricia said that supposedly their family is in a fight with the aunt over inheritance, so no one should know that she visited her. Felipe promised to keep the secret. Thanking him, Patricia left with Jacques, who bought her pastries and invited to his office where he usually works. While Felipe was getting drunk for courage to later propose to Patricia, Jacques took her to his place. At that moment, the girl felt a mix of fear and anticipation. Jacques reassured her, saying they weren't doing anything wrong. Having drunk quite a bit, Jacques crossed the line by kissing her. Patricia already regretted what had happened. Just a few minutes ago Jacques was swearing his love to her, but now he says that love cannot happen so spontaneously. For him it was just a moment of madness. In tears, Patricia ran away. She trusted Jacques, and he deceived her. Seeing Felipe drunk on the street, Patricia woke him up and asked him to take her away from here. However, the car wouldn't start at all. It's already 7 in the evening, and Patricia needs to be home. To somehow salvage the situation, Felipe asked Jacques, who was passing by, to give Patricia a ride. The girl had no choice but to agree. In the field, passion flared between them. It was unexpected for both of them. After that, Patricia cried. She blames herself for this moment of weakness, but nothing can be changed now. Patricia thinks that after this, She doesn't deserve anything good anymore, but according to Jacques they didn't do anything wrong. Jacques hopes for another meeting. Patricia is confused about her feelings. She only knows that she loves Jacques. He hugged her but didn't say I love you in return. Jacques' superiors ordered him to go on trials in Africa the very next day. His parents strongly oppose, but Jacques is a good pilot, so his candidacy was approved. Before leaving, Jacques asked his mother for a favor, to tell Patricia about his sudden departure and to pass on a letter. They were supposed to have a date tomorrow, but Jacques won't be able to make it. The mother swore she would do everything and the next day came to the agreed place, by the old cypress tree. Patricia was already waiting here. Jacques' mother simply passed by, and stopping near the chapel burned the letter. The woman is convinced that this simple girl is not a match for her son. Until the very last moment Patricia hoped that her beloved would come, but he never showed up. Soon Jacques, like many other young men, was sent to the front. Felipe had to go to the recruiting station too. Patricia came to see him off. Felipe told the girl that he is happy when she is around. Right now Felipe hopes that she will wait for him to return from the war. Patricia wanted to be honest with him and confess that she is pregnant. This was the last thing he expected to hear. For him it's scarier than the war, just like for Patricia. When asked who the father of the child is, Patricia replied that it's rich gentleman who also went to war. But even if he returns, Patricia doesn't hope for anything, knowing that Jacques doesn't need such a poor girl like her. Patricia's father is still unaware of her pregnancy. Despite everything, Felipe still intends to marry her. However, Patricia is too ashamed of her actions, and she still loves Jacques. Hundreds of people came to the platform to bid farewell to the soldiers. Pascal, Patricia and Amanda said goodbye to Felipe, who is ready to fulfill his duty to his country. Pascal is very afraid that his friend won't return. Amanda on the other hand remained silent. But when the train departed, she couldn't hold back and burst into tears. At home, Pascal asked his daughter why she refused Felipe's proposal. In the father's opinion, perhaps she is waiting for a prince, but there were no more of them left. At that moment, gathering courage, Patricia told her father the whole truth. Of course Pascal was deeply disappointed, but he has no choice but to accept this situation. Pascal also blames himself. He is sure that if his wife were alive, none of this would have happened. Jacques' parents were about to have dinner, but they were interrupted by the maid who said that the whole Emeretti family was here. Asking all daughters except Patricia to leave, Pascal explained to the Mazel couple that their son behaved improperly towards Patricia, and the result of this is a child. However, André and his wife refused to acknowledge the child, believing that Patricia just wants to marry a wealthy guy. Realizing that these people won't approve of his daughter's marriage to Jacques, Pascal said that he was foolish to hope otherwise. Now his daughter is a fallen woman, and even for her own father she is lost. The Mazel couple stuck to their opinion. They are only concerned about the family's reputation. Pascal, Patricia and the other girls were forced to leave with nothing. Asking Amanda to take the younger sisters home, Pascal told Patricia that in 2 hours she should take a bus and go to another village to his sister Natalie, who also made a mistake years ago. Pascal does this to spare all his daughters from public condemnation. Patricia is ready for this. The thought of being a disgrace to the family hurts her. Throughout this time, Patricia's sisters didn't leave but stayed here. Patricia said goodbye to her family. Watching his daughter leave, Pascal could barely hold back his emotions. Out of love for her he had to do this. After some time Felipe returned from the front. Happy Amanda met him at the platform. Because of his injury Felipe was given a 30-day leave. There are rumors that Jacques perished. Recently André was officially informed that Jacques' plane burned down. This means there is no hope for his return. Felipe visited Pascal, who didn't want to talk about either Patricia or missing Jacques. When Felipe asked for permission to take a ride with Amanda, Pascal allowed it on the condition that Felipe kept an eye on her, especially if some guy on a motorcycle approaches. Because a motorcycle can bring unhappiness to an entire family. Until the evening Amanda and Felipe rode around, returning late. The younger sisters miss Patricia a lot, but their father refuses to talk to them about her. Pascal suspected that Felipe and Amanda weren't actually at the fair, but visited Patricia and her son in another village. Felipe doesn't want his daughters to associate with their older sister, who brought shame upon their family. When Amanda went to bed as instructed by her father, Felipe told him that Patricia and her son are healthy. Learning that Patricia gave her son the surname Amoretti, Pascal was even more distressed. This child will be a stigma for their family for several generations to come. Felipe declared that he is still willing to marry Patricia and give her son his surname. In response Pascal told the friend that he has no honor, but his kindness is boundless. Soon Pascal arrived in another village for his daughter. Patricia helps her Aunt Natalie with everything, including household chores. Pascal still can't forgive his daughter, but despite everything he wants her to come back home. This doesn't mean Pascal is ready to approve of her marriage to Felipe and accept the illegitimate grandson named André Pascal, in honor of both grandfathers. Natalie believed that it would be better for the niece and her son to stay here, where nobody would judge her. But Patricia would be happy to return home to her beloved sisters. Seeing his grandson for the first time, Pascal felt warm feelings. He was even willing to give the boy his surname. They are one family, and the opinions of others shouldn't matter to them. On the same day, Patricia and her son returned to their native village. The Mazel couple summoned the courage to visit their home. André politely asked Pascal to clean the well on their plot. Pascal agreed because he must support his family and is ready to take on any job. Hearing that Jacques' parents received official notification of their son's demise yesterday, Patricia could barely contain her emotions. Before leaving, the couple asked for permission to see Patricia's son. Pascal allowed them because he is no longer ashamed of his grandson. Taking André Jr. in her arms, Jacques' mother burst into tears. She and her husband deeply regret not accepting the grandson immediately and want to make amends for their mistake. Patricia said she bears no grudges against them because their son also rejected her. The day before his departure he didn't show up for their date. At that moment, Jacques' mother tearfully confessed that her son actually learned about his sudden departure at the last moment. The order came only in the evening. The woman also confessed that Jacques asked her to get Patricia a letter, but she burned it. The girl couldn't believe it. It turns out Jacques didn't reject her. Pascal was very angry because the Mazel family had acted unfairly twice. Now he wants nothing to do with them. André asks for permission to be involved in the grandson's life. He has money, so he could provide the boy with a better future. But Pascal firmly refused, being convinced that these people wouldn't be here now if their son were alive. Some time passed. Pascal dislikes that Patricia, despite his prohibition, communicates with Jacques' parents and accepts expensive gifts from them for the child. Reluctantly, Pascal had to accept the Mazel's invitation for dinner because Patricia had already promised them. Pascal worries that André and his wife will want to take his grandson away, but Patricia knows they won't do that. Now Jacques' parents warmly welcome Patricia and are always glad to see her in their home. By the commander's order, Felipe came to them and informed them that Jacques is alive. It turns out he managed to jump off the plane and parachute landed in Switzerland. Hearing this, André and his wife couldn't hold back tears of happiness. For them it was not only a miracle but also a second chance. When Patricia saw Jacques, safe and sound, she couldn't believe her eyes at first. Their son is already 6 months old, and now he's got a father. Pascal along with his other daughters came to dinner. Patricia said that Jacques is alive and has just returned. But Pascal was now only concerned about his grandson. He immediately took the boy out of this house, considering that their family is once again unwanted here. After some time, the Mazels came to the Amoretti house to ask Patricia's hand in marriage. Felipe still loves Patricia but is ready to let her go because he wants her to be happy. André said that God has returned their son and given them a chance to atone for their bad deed. That's why it would be an honor for them if Pascal agrees to the wedding. Of course Pascal agreed. Recently the Mazels tarnished his family's honor, but today they restored it, and Pascal was grateful to them for that. To everyone's surprise, Patricia expressed doubts. She doesn't want to marry just because the Mazels feel guilty. It's important to her that Jacques loves her. Jacques suggested that Patricia go for a walk together. At first he said he wasn't happy about the wedding, but it turned out to be just a joke. In fact, all this time away from home, Jacques was thinking about Patricia every minute. They confessed their love to each other. Both families discussed all the details of the upcoming wedding. It's hard for Pascal to come to terms with the fact that now Jacques will raise his grandson. During this time Pascal has become very attached to the boy. Their argument was interrupted by Felipe, who asked Pascal for Amanda's hand in marriage. Pascal agreed without hesitation. Such is the happy ending to this story. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss more exciting new products. Also, the authors will be pleased if you leave your opinion in the comments.